Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about this transit. Boy, oh boy. I really didn't put in the main you only have so many characters you can use for the main title. But I wanted to also I would have thrown in there with the Mercury retrograde as well. But I didn't have enough room. The other transits I felt and the new moon energy I felt was more important. So see who gets on here. I wanted to do a little talk. I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of things in my life that have just today I start opening my pile of mail that I've been neglecting because I don't like dealing with it. Yeah. I mean, I have tons of other mail too to do, but oh, sorry. Either way, yeah, reviewing everything. Kind of happy we have this Mercury retrograde. That sounds weird, but now that Uranus is finally out of Aries and into Taurus, it's all about business and finances and economics um and the whole transit for the Uranus transit through Aries all had to do with self-worth and self-identity. Boy, I can tell you, I personally had went through one of the hardest decade of my life. And it sucks because it should be one of the best years. I'm middle age. That should have been one of the best years of my life. But, and I'm not saying that it wasn't. Like, Uranus had brought in for me a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble. And you can't really blame it, I guess, on the planet per se. But when you're, I mean, between going through a divorce and then going through, we own property and we still own those properties and they're not separated and we're divorced. And then I had renters that not paying me and destroying my property. I was just next door. That place is trashed. Here we go again. When she moved, that place was nice before she moved in. I didn't want to deal with anything because I was dealing with my own self-worth issues. I let everything fall to the wayside. And I have nobody to blame but myself. I know this. I'm not blaming anybody. But this is all the stuff that I need to work on myself. I don't need to worry about relationships at this point. So, there's people in my life who are not on the same page with me that need to go. They need to go. My soul tribe is who I need to be with. Whether it be a relationship, partnership, relationship, family. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're not in my life to add to it, if you're there just to take from me, like I've had happen so many times, take, whatever they always have in their hand out, well, guess what? That well's dried up for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm covering the camera. That well's dried up. All the emotions are getting... I'm not getting my emotions involved in stuff anymore. And one other thing. On a personal note, I no longer have a boyfriend because I know my self-worth. I didn't feel like he was treating me right. We had a few arguments since Valentine's Day. Shit went downhill. There was things that had happened that I've started to notice a pattern to where it was all about him. He started a new job. That's the only thing he's focused on now is his new job. Well, I need to focus on me and what I need to get done business-wise. So, because I pretty much am really sensitive to the energy and the transits. And I kind of understand the planets. And I understand the energies of those planets. You know, I'm really going to start moving into, you know, not necessarily just, a lot of times I'm, this is the interesting part that I've noticed, because most of us have always looked at our sun sign, and that is me. I relate myself best as an Aries. I have a Capricorn moon, but my rising sign is Libra. The other Aries one here, the pilot man, he talks all the time about, you know, follow your rising sign. That's more accurate for what you need to be doing. And with my rising sign, with me being a Libra, it's justice time for people. If I've been dealt a bad hand by my hand's no longer going to be, if it's not equal give and take, you're out of my life. Period. It's either equal or nothing. And knowing your self-worth. Talk a little bit about what had happened over with the Uranus trans, and I'm pretty sure that this was what a lot of people was dealing with. It was really hit Aries hard because went through our first house, but everybody has Aries in their chart, which is the identity and the core of who you are. So a lot of people went through that transformation. It hit Aries. We've been getting hammered by this stuff. And now that Uranus has finally transited into Taurus, which is all about business, finances. Hey, how are you doing? And the economy. That's what we need to be focused on now that we know what our self-worth is. You still have a little bit of time with this Mercury retrograde. You still have a little bit of time to work on those core wounds and those things that come up. But knowing your self-worth and allowing things that no longer serve you to fall away. Let's clean out those closets. Let's get rid of and unload. I have so much shit that I have that I don't need, that I don't use on a regular basis, that I really should put online and sell and get rid of because it's not serving me at all. Not at all. I have a ton of shit that clothes out the wazoo that don't even fit me anymore. You know, you kind of keep different size clothes in case you gain weight or you lose weight, or you know what? I'm gonna start selling my shit. I don't know, either the yard sale sites through Facebook. Somehow I gotta unload stuff. And then as I'm going through my mail today. Yeah, well, I realized that when I had to refinance our mortgage for the properties, that I'm considering selling these properties and moving at one point, now that I'm no longer entangled with anybody, besides like my parents. And I mean, emotionally, I honestly can feel like an emotional close-up. And I actually asked this for the new moon in Pisces, and that's weird, but I can feel an emotional close-up happening so that I can focus on the things that I have let go, the responsibilities that I needed to really be hitting upon that I just couldn't because of going through the health issues and going through, I mean, look at this. That's the amount of medication from health issues just because of from 2010 on. I have 2 different anxiety medications. I'm on a thyroid pill. I take ADHD medication. I have stuff there for migraines. And, yeah. Plus I have my Tylenol or ibuprofen there for pain. So, yep. all of the, I wasn't even on a medication before Uranus came into Aries. Like, there's just so much stuff that has happened. Mercury retrograde has done a number on a lot of us a lot of times. And it's like a lot of people say, don't sign contracts, don't do any. Well, the last Mercury retrograde, I think, was back in October, November, and we refinanced the mortgage that started to come out in December. They took the first month out of my checking account, and I made sure that I had the money in there for January and February. They never took it out. Therefore, they said that that it lapsed. I didn't check my bank statement to see if they took it out or not, because I signed up for automatic withdrawal, and they said with this type of loan modification, you have to call in every month. They didn't explain that to me. That was like so now we have to go through the process again. Because they had asked me, well, can you pay up through March? And I had said, well, I have a bunch of other things I really need to pay for because I have lights and water bills, and I have all these other bills that I have to pay for. If it's between that and paying that, like, I don't know what to do. So I don't want to have to go take out a personal loan. I probably wouldn't be able to get it because my credit's shot anyway. So they're going to try and remodify this again. And it's in a Mercury retrograde with the new moon in Pisces. Jesus. But it'll buy me a little bit of time. Because it'll come out April, May, June. And now that I understand that I have to actually call them every month and tell them to take it out, which they didn't say that. They were not clear at that. I said automatic withdrawal every month. And they had said, yeah. That was not clear to me. I assumed that it automatically was withdrawn like you do with any other loan. That's not the way this worked, apparently. And they weren't clear on it. It was a miscommunication. So be sending me good vibes that they will allow the remodification to go through, and that it buys me 3 more months. If not, I'm going to have to come up with like $1,900 right out of my pocket so that I don't, go into default again. And either way, Uranus going into Taurus, it's all about getting your money right. Thank you. It's all about getting your money right. Hi, Raz. And it's all about getting, it's going to shake things up a lot in your area of work and finances. And what wasn't working, you're going to find different ways of making work, and what was working is going to shift up. That's the way Uranus works. I'm just going to let y'all know, like, it's nothing to fear. I think the bigger fear was going through Aries, because it wrecked your inside. It wrecked your self-identity and your self-worth of knowing who you are. So I can see that transit would be worse for everybody in the collective. Anybody who's in the collective, like that transit, whether you were an Aries or whether you were, Aries anywhere in your chart, everybody felt that. And of course, there I am, oh, poor pity me. I'm an Aries. I have Uranus going through my first house. Poor pity. Like, we did go through hell. I'm not going to say that we didn't. Well, we got a Pisces new moon coming up. So we all know everything about Pisces is psychic. All those skeletons I got chills. All those skeletons that people have been hiding from you. All those secrets that you thought you weren't sure of, it's all getting exposed. And guess what full moon we have coming up? In Libra. That's justice, folks. All that shit that has been secrets that have people been thinking that they were hiding from you. Oh yeah, it's all coming to the surface. It's all coming to the surface. You're not going to be, don't lie to people. Don't even try. They're going to be able to see right through everything you say, everything you do. Be upfront, be honest. Like, just like me on the self-centered wanker. Raz, where are you from, hon? Are you from over there? Are you from England? I know a lot of people over in Britain and England and stuff. They UK. They use wanker a lot. We don't use it's funny for people in the United States. People just call them a fucking prick. Self-centered prick. That's the term for wanker here in the United States. Prick. How have you been, Raz? Everything going well? How have you been doing? You want to know what? That's good. Things are going to start getting better. I promise. Everything's coming to the forefront. I wish I could freaking retire. I'm in the middle of financial fucked. Completely fucked. I need to get a job. I do. And I've been saying this for months, but I need to get my finances under control. I need to do my taxes for 2 years. 2 years. I need to start working on them so I can get them in. I need to pay my taxes on these properties. So, and what else did getting these properties fixed up to where I can rent them out, get them under a decent manager, and then sell them. Because I think I'm going to completely start over with everything, tenant-wise too. I went next door today, and I know I love her to pieces, but that house is trashed. Next door to me, didn't look like that when she moved in there. Now it's trashed. So, like, I have a lot of, hang on 1 second. I got to answer this. I'll be right back, guys. Come on. Come on.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry, are you guys still there? I lost some of you. My dad called. My daddy's coming to fix a leaky pipe. Like I said, if anything could go wrong, it has for me. Where should I start? Would you like to hear what my Uranus was? Do you guys want to know about what happened with what my Uranus transit was like? Starting in 2010? Uranus does good things to build you back up, but he really tears you down. Or she. I'm not sure if it's a male or female energy, but it's a devastation energy. I don't know who. There was 3 people in here. I lost some of you. Either way, 2010 was the shadow period of the beginning of the end for me. And I decided to start going back to college. I had really hello, whoever's on here. I decided to start school, which that makes sense. I didn't understand any of this stuff with planets and stuff. I decided to go back to college because I just had a heart to help people, and I wanted to go for counseling. And I needed a master's degree to do so, or I could do social work with a bachelor's, which I ended up attaining a bachelor's degree. It took 6 freaking years to do so because I ended up getting sick in the midst of all of that. And I ended up with a double degree because I also have a degree in criminal justice. So I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and I have an associate degree in criminal justice. I am kind of looking at possibly, I'm not sure what kind of law enforcement I can get into because of my age, but I'd like to be sort of like a forensics type person, and be able to use my intuition on the job, and them not, even I know that even some police forces will hire psychics. That definitely an idea that they'll hire psychics to see if they can get clues to solve unsolvable crime. Guess what? I didn't get those degrees for no reason. But I got to start somewhere. I did work in local government. That was a sham. I saw a lot of injustice within the local government political system, and ended up losing my job because I called my bosses out on their fraud, shall we say, and asked way too many questions. And let me just tell you, from 2010 till last night at 4:30 in the morning, toodles Uranus, I'm going to tell you what, it's been one hell of a ride. It has. But I think now it's Taurus is a fixed energy. We have to realize what that means. Taurus is stubborn. They're almost Capricorn. Any earth energy is stubborn. My mom's a Virgo and she's extremely stubborn, and she likes to point fingers. But she's magical too, because the words that she speaks, she doesn't realize she manifests. And there's times where I have to tell her, watch what you say, you're speaking curses, Mom. And she's getting it around me a little bit because I'll call her out. But I think I'm gonna get on and do a reading then for Libra. This Pisces new moon is not only going to be I woke up yesterday, and I might as well just tell y'all right now, me and my boyfriend broke up because I know what I deserve, and he wasn't. He's a good person. Okay. He can be an ignorant prick because he's an Aries. Him and I just butt heads too much. I love him to pieces. I do. He is a good guy. And as soon as he got his job, that became the most important thing to him. Screw our relationship. Now I only care about me. It all became about him. Very narcissistic, in my opinion. And I kind of was getting that the last few weeks because him and I were having fights on and off. And I was like, screw you. I don't want your promise ring because this isn't what you promised me. And then Monday, like, I was just so over it. Like, I was hurt and I was pissed. And I wasn't acting myself. I kind of unloaded and unleashed on Facebook and called him out for the bullshit. But in a very, at first it was very mature. And then he just kept texting me and bombarding me with text message after text message after text message. And I was like, you want to know what, dude? Be free. Be free. And then the next morning I wake up in tears, upset and crying all day, to the point where I had to get a hold of somebody from my soul tribe to talk me down. And I was in the middle of, watching I knew that there was a portal that had opened due to I think that there is a stellium right now in Pisces. But with the sun, the moon, and Neptune, I just got chills. Whee! Hello. How you doing? As soon as you come on, I get chills. Oh shit. But yeah, with that, it was like I had no. This girl and me are on the same page. I had no clarity when I woke up. I was so befuddled and beside myself and was just crying like, what do I do wrong? And why do I get triggered? And all of those things that Uranus had dug up in my core started coming to the surface again. And it manifested on Monday. And well, yeah, orgasmic. Yeah, well, I realigned my chakras like 8 times yesterday. So, and then I went and got a couple salt baths. I'll realign my own chakras. I don't need a man to do it. They just pollute me, is what I'm saying. But I need to close the cycle. And I was talking to Summer last night about some of the things, like just the boom, the realization of what had happened with a karmic circle that started with an Aries right after my right at when I left my husband, to the Aries that I'm dealing with now. It went right in a circle. Cycle closed. Yeah, well, that hot man, I no longer have him. I broke up with him. So, he didn't treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. Not at all. I have very strict boundaries now, and if I see somebody, if I see red, okay, I've gone through a series of narcissistic relationships where I've been severely traumatized and abused. And a lot of you have as well. And that was the whole Uranus going through the first house of your self-identity, that these narcissists, you want to know what? I really think that, and I'm getting chills when I say this, but I really believe that they were sent to help with this transit for you to find your self-worth and for you to find out who you really are and for you to step into your power. Maybe they'll all go back into hiding where they belong and stop being so abusive and narcissistic. But, or it could just get worse. I don't know. But I can tell you a lot of people, and it's not just an area, is across the board. Every single zodiac sign has dealt with this getting stuck on somebody, not being able to release. That's what this whole thing was. Learning how to release. Closing karmic cycles. Starting new cycles. And let me tell you something. This is what freaked me out last night, because I was watching, and I forget her name, but I'm now subscribed to her channel. She had done some super cool messages for the collective. And I started listening to her, and things just started making sense. Yep. Things just started to click into place and make sense. And it's all about releasing the past. and being able to, my whole thing, what have I been talking about? It's been about forgiving and learning and releasing and finding your true self and stepping into your power and moving forward. That's what my whole thing has been. And that's what these planets are trying to help aid and activate us into doing. Chiron coming in Aries is going to be interesting, though. Because Chiron and Pisces with the Uranus transit through Aries, that's what brought up and was able to cultivate all those triggers. And we all have them. And we're all taking off layers of the onion all the time. But to be able to recognize what's going on, that's the key, is recognize. As an Aries, I don't cry easily. I don't. Exactly, Faith, you're right. I don't cry easily. I was a blobbery mess yesterday. It was something. I couldn't get my head straight. I felt like I did when I was dealing with the narcissist from last year, when me and this current guy that I broke up, I broke up with him because of him ditching me and just bullshit, and like I said, he wasn't being the person that I thought he should be to me. He was not. So, I was holding true to my values and boundaries that I put in place when I chose that I was moving forward and cutting off that narcissistic energy. So when I see something that even resembles that Seven of Swords card, sneaky line cheating, upside down King of Swords, with the master manipulator, toxic devil. Yeah, when I see that combination come out and I see somebody acting out in a cycle like that, that's toxic, I call them out on their bullshit. And many times they don't know what they're doing, but they're triggering me. That's the Chiron. That triggers something in me to be like, red flag, wake up, watch what's going on, watch what's happening. You need to make a choice. You need to call them out on their bullshit. And if you don't get the correct response, if they're not willing to change up and they can't change up, you need to go move forward. However, how you do that, see, a lot of times narcissists won't give you closure. Well, I'm not saying this new one is. I'm not sure. But I still have belongings and stuff out there that I'm going to go and pick up a little bit later. And him and I are going to sit down and we're going to have this talk. That even if we just end it on a decent note, on a friendship note, if you need anything type of note, because for me to be in a relationship with somebody, they got to be on my level. They have to support me emotionally and support my vision like I'm willing to support them. And if it's not equal, they can fuck off. I'm done giving handouts to people. That goes from my tenants. That goes to people. I've had somebody come on and ask me to do a reading because my readings were really cheap when I first started doing them. Oh, your reading's still $20. No, they're $44 now. Because they're highly intense and I don't just do, an hour reading for people when I do private readings. I done a reading for Jess. I think it went 4.5 hours. I did an activation spread for her. I pulled out activation angel cards. I did a 9-card spread. I do counseling sessions, like kind of like encouraging counseling, and what I see. And if you don't believe me, she's probably on here. You can ask her. Like, you don't just get a 9-card spread and this is what I see. And yeah, this person's coming in, or no, I don't. This is a definite no that you shouldn't be with this person or they're not coming back. Nope, that's not my readings. My readings help people. And if I know that there's healing and energetic healing that needs to be done, I call it out. If you will notice from now on, I'm incorporating also, which I felt the divine told me to do, is call out ailments and start watching and listening and taking note to, if spirit tells me that there's somebody who's going to be watching my page who has an ailment, to call it out and ask the Holy Spirit to come and heal it. So you're going to start seeing that a lot more. It's happened in every single reading I've done so far this month. From Scorpio to Pisces, I've done there was at least 1 or 2 words that had come out for divine healing. And I'm talking headaches. I'm talking breaking off toxic bonds. And there was things that had come out from pretty much every single reading I've done. That spirit had just given me an inclination or a word. And I know that it's going to increase because I'm going to start seeing it in the cards. I'm going to start getting intuitive messages through those cards for divine healing to take place through the airwaves by me speaking it out. And it's going to come to a new level for people. So when they come to my channel, and if they're on there and they're in the feed, or they watch it even at a later date, because we know that these are fluent. There was somebody, if you watch the Pisces reading, I think it was Pisces or it was Capricorn. One of those. Oh, I got chills. I'm pretty sure it was Pisces. If you get in the comments, somebody was healed of a headache that they were dealing with at the moment I had said it. And Summer Solstice had noticed that, and she put it in the live feed, that there was a time lapse and a time skip when that had happened. So this is all divine, folks. What's going on with me and what had happened to me, I knew I had a gift. As far as like, I knew that I was imparted with something from the time I was born. It was activated through the Holy Spirit, through a church. When I was at church, I got nailed by God, pretty much knocked me on the floor. I was like drunk. I was legit, felt like I was shit-faced drunk in the spirit. And they actually talk about that in the book of Acts, where they came out, hang on. They came out of the upper room because they were being persecuted after Christ had ascended. They were being persecuted, his disciples. And tongues of fire fell on them in that upper room. And they came out with power, healing power, to heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out demons, and manifest things. That's what the church was called to do from start. That's what they were called to do. And you want to know what they did? They made it into an institution that's not biblical. Christians, you made church into a building and not your sanctuary, which is this. Sorry, I had to get religious there. Or I had to call out the religious spirit there. You're not walking in the spirit. You're walking in religion, which is evil. And it's the first thing Christ called out. He went after the Pharisees, and I'm doing the same damn thing, you Pharisees. Oh, I'm going to heaven because I believe in Jesus. Well, you want to know what? He don't know you. You're not doing his work. You're supposed to be doing what he did. You'll know them by their fruit. What's your fruit? Are you healing the sick? Do you have the power to cast out demons? Well, guess what? That comes with spending time in meditation and prayer and fasting. I've been doing that. I've been stuck to my bed for 2 years. He called the religious people. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. Hang on, it's my kid. I'll be right back, guys. Hello? Sorry. Daddy called, kid called, call my doctor. I need to go get my permit. I have another kid. I'm going to have 3 kids on the road driving now. Which I think is a bad idea with her, because she's got anger issues. Well, I'm down to one person on here. Well, hello, whoever's on here. I need to make a note of this that I got to call the doctor for her. But, hang on. Story of my life. Yeah, I did pick up, I have a private reading tomorrow. I was supposed to do one yesterday. I thought I was going to do one today. And then, like I said, he didn't get back a hold of me because I don't think he liked the idea that, Hi, Raz. I don't think he liked the idea that, I wasn't going to lower my prices for my private reading. Sorry. Ain't happening. I should be getting a lot more than what I am. For all that I do when I do a private reading. Unless you've had a private reading for me, you wouldn't really understand. But my private readings, they go a long time. Usually 2-3 hours at least. Yeah, so sorry my daughter called. I have to call and see about her getting a physical. And I have to get out her birth certificate. Because she wants to go get her driver's permit, which I think is a bad idea. But whatever. I think it's a real bad idea. I'm going to talk to her dad about it. I don't think she should get it. She has anger issues. I can see her get... Okay, we're going to talk about my daughter real quick. Just real quick, I'm going to give you her chart. She's an Aquarius sun with a double Gemini moon. Oh, yeah. Oh, she wouldn't even just road rage. She would pull, and then her Mars is in Aries. She'd pull over and beat somebody up. She wouldn't care. Road rage, and then she would be like, all right, bitch, you want to do that? Pull over, and then she'd get out of the vehicle and beat. So she'd have an assault charge, too. Welcome to my daughter. She'd first destroy them with words and magic, and then she whooped their ass as a result. She's something else. And then her Mars is in Aries and my Mars is in Aquarius. So you can about imagine with the Uranus transit going through my first house of Aries, with Uranus, or with my Mars in Uranus. So I have a direct connection with Mars being my ruling planet. I have a direct connection to Aquarius, and I never really put it all together until I actually looked at my natal chart, and I'm like, well, that's why that makes sense. Me and hers Mars is exactly flipped. Her Mars is in Aries and my Mars is in Uranus. Because Uranus is the ruling planet for Aquarius. Planet of transformation. Stirring up problems. Stirring up a lot of trouble. And then you have Mars, who's just explosive. So, yeah. And that's the triggers that I was talking about. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Kyron going into Aries. Guess what that is? He's the wounded healer. I talked a little bit about Kyron before, but he's the wounded healer. And I talked a little bit about this before, but yeah, Kyron. It's interesting that this is getting incorporated into my readings now. Very interesting that this is getting incorporated into my readings. Because I kind of knew I had the gift. And I saw right in front of my eyes people getting healed. And I could tell you stories at one point, but I'm not going to go into it right now. If you guys want to hear about I went on a mission trip to Brazil and what happened there, changed my life. I realized at that point how powerful that gift is. I saw demons manifest. I saw people get delivered from demonic entities. You think demons don't you really think that demons don't control people and completely possess people? I'm telling you, when spirit falls, when that holy place gets filled with that energy of spirit and it's pure, demons cannot stand that. They have to run. I saw people trying to crawl up the walls, scratching the walls in these churches that we went to. It was nuts, like the stuff that I witnessed. And then, but the thing is it's not scary. You'll hear a lot of screaming. They'll roll around. What demons do is they want to scare people. Well, they don't scare me. I know what they are. I see them manifest. A lot of times if someone, and my hand's getting hot. My hand's starting to tingle. This is the hand. This is the hand that I lay on people. This is the hand that it's divine healing. When I was in Brazil, this whole thing was activated for me. I got schnockered again. I got baptized in fire. Funny, my element is fire. And the power of the spoken word. I learned this a long time ago. And for a long time, I forgot. Well, over the last course of the last 2 years, yeah, Spirit brought it back up. And he's like, all right, now we're going to use this gift in a completely different way and not in a church setting. Because there's people all throughout this world who need healed, divinely healed, and guided to the truth. So I yielded. Whatever it looked like, Spirit, however you wanted to use me. And guess what? I got stuck in my bed. Dealt with narcissist. Finding my self-worth. Not being afraid. I don't fear death anymore. And I've said it on a lot of videos. Death does not scare me. Not at all. I love Jesus too. He's my best friend. Right there's my picture of him. He oversees, so y'all know he oversees. He oversees my tarot readings. When I told my family and I broke the news to my family that I started doing tarot readings, they didn't like that. Because they're religious. That's divination. I said, well, you want to know what? I'd rather ask for forgiveness from God than permission from man to do what I know that Spirit's telling me to do. This is my destiny and my purpose. That's the way I look at it. Nobody should ever fear you into not doing what you're called to do. And I'm going to trigger a lot of people. That has already been taken note. I'm going to trigger people. With Jupiter, with me having my Jupiter return, my solar return with Jupiter, because in my North Node, the next 12 years. And I got chills. Yep. I also wanted to tell you, like, I hate to break the news to you, but we're going to be going into another retrograde cycle. We started with Mercury, and things. We're gonna have Saturn going retrograde, I think, in April or May, and Jupiter's going to be going retrograde again. It happens. We have to deal with these energies, and we have to deal with it, and we have to learn from them, and we have to make the most out of the hand we're dealt. We can't just whine, and like me, I like to just sit, whine, cry like a baby. Be like, oh, nobody loves me. Well, do you love yourself? But they did this and they did that. And yeah, well, did you allow them to do it to you? Did you put the stop to it? Did you stand in your power and stand in your self-worth and say, that's fucked up what you did, and I'm not putting up with it? I deserve better. And I'll go find better. Yeah. Well, like I said, Mercury retrograde. Now, here we go again. I got taxes to do. And yeah, and I got to figure out this bullshit with the mortgage. So, here we go again. Happened the last time during a Mercury retrograde. This time, I have clarity, though. When I thought, automatic withdrawal meant automatic withdrawal every month, they're like, no, that was only for that first month, and you needed to. I'm like, they had my stuff. Never found better yet. What? I'm going to tell you what. We need to stop searching. We need to stop searching. For our other half and say, and work on ourselves more now than ever. If you're not coupled up with, I broke up with my boyfriend because I didn't feel like I know what I deserve. I deserve better. If he can't give me that, then he can fuck off. Deuces. And it's not in a bad way. This is closing that karmic cycle. It started with an Aries and it's ending with an Aries. On the new moon. I asked Spirit to do me a favor. Raz, at one point the right person is going to, your soul person will come in. Your right person who you're meant to be with, if they're not on your right path, you're going to know. You're going to feel it. You're going to sense it. You're going to know. Real quick. Spirit didn't even give me 2 months with this guy. I was there in his reason for a purpose. I came into his I came into his life to awaken him and stand him back up and push him out the nest and say, now fly. This is kind of like how he said it. Now he's flying, so he no longer needs me. Now I got to work on myself. And it's very evident that he no longer needs me, nor does he care. So, with that being said, I'm fine with it. Thank God I only put in 2 months. Not even. It's interesting because he came back in when right when Uranus was coming back in Aries. Or no, when Uranus went direct. January 5th is when we started dating. When Uranus went direct in Aries. And he's leaving as Uranus went into Taurus. And I'm going to try and do it like as nice as possible. Because it wasn't nice at first. There was a lot of triggers and a lot of hurt, and we'll see we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm working on myself. I'm going to work on my own stuff, my own business, my own stuff that I need to do. I can't be focused on him. He's not focused on me. I'm not going to be focused on him. I'm done with that. I'm done with giving all of my energy out to people who give me very little in return. Their energy ain't going to be, if I'm not going to be a priority in their life, fuck them. I'm not going to be a priority in mine. You want to know who's a priority? You want to know who my main priority is besides my kids? Jack. Hey. Come here. This guy right here is my soulmate. This little fella. Actually, he's not so little. That's my soulmate and my best friend. Aren't you? Yep. He's always with me. That cat barely leaves my side. He's look how huge he is. He is humongous. He weighs about, I don't know, 35, 40 pounds. He's a Maine Coon. He's my best friend. And he's always with me. Always, always, always. Aren't you, buddy? And he knows when I'm not feeling good. Like yesterday, he knew that I was upset and because of all the triggers and the breaking up and, but I'm not upset anymore. I got too much other stuff that I have to worry about, like foreclosures on houses and possible losing these. Yeah, just dumb shit, like stuff that I just couldn't deal with. I couldn't deal with it. Mentally or emotionally or psychologically, I couldn't fucking deal with it. Like I couldn't get outside my head. I was the 8 of Swords for a long time. I was in a mental prison for a very long time. And, well, thank you, Scorpio, for doing that. Fucker. Yeah. Damn Scorpios and their transformation. But I can even say that with a smile on my face now in gratitude, because I wasn't saying it this last year. No, I was cursing his ass out for what he did. But tick, 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 time's a ticking. He's screwed. And that's not on me, that's on his own karma. That karmic cycle's closed. So, he's creating new karmic cycles. And I'm creating a better life for myself. So, and hopefully I'm helping all of you, understand that if you guys have been dealing with the same type of stuff and not understanding, I hope that this does give you a little bit of affirmation that you're not alone. I understand. I've been there. I've gone through all this stuff. And the energies of there's so many people I would read on Facebook with certain friends of mine. Like, what in the heck is going on? Like, I don't understand, like, why I feel like this. Like, what is... And nobody realizes it's the astrology and it's the planets. And I'm sitting there like, I know what's going on. And then my one friend's very open. She's actually getting a reading from me next week she's one of my friends on Facebook. And I tagged her in the one post from last night. And I'm like, here, you might want to spread this on your Facebook because this might help some of your friends understand that what they're feeling, they're actually awakening. They're being awakened to this process. And they don't know. And that's what us, I mean, yeah, I'm a 70s kid. Like, I'm a Pluto and Libra. That's where my Pluto is. I'm a Pluto and Libra. So I'm one of the forerunners to all this shit. I'm not a 60s. Like, there's still a generation, you know, you got the baby boomer generation before me. Salute. Salute. But I'm also in that generation of having to go through some of these transits as a very unawakened person. Even as a follower of Jesus going to church, those people are not awake. They're not awake. They're asleep. And it talks very specifically about people being asleep. And the church is being asleep. The only one that was awake was Church Philadelphia. It's the only one. Summer of 69. Oh, yeah. It was the summer of 69. You're Pluto's in Scorpio then. So you're even before me. Salute. Salute. You know, you're a Libra. Your Pluto's in Libra. I can tell you that right now because so is mine. Pluto doesn't leave easy. I think his transits are like 5 years. 5-10 years, something like that. You're a forerunner. And there's a lot of people who are not. The world is so asleep. And I'm not saying that anybody who's waking up or awake, that's what we need to do. We need to shake the world up. And that's what Uranus, that's what the new age of Aquarius is going to do. It's waking people up. And guess where it starts? With Uranus going into Taurus. When people start losing all of their fucking shit. And there's going to be a transfer of funds to those who are awake and spreading truth about what's really going on. So y'all aware. If you haven't, you have about 2 years. 2021 is when they're predicting that this shit's going to hit the fan economically. So, yeah, my mind has been racing on what I need to do when it comes to savings and asking Spirit where I need to stack my dough when I start paying off debt. It's going to be paying off debt. I'm going to be broke. Dear Lord. What are they going to do? It is what it is. Either way, yeah. I start worrying about myself. Not worry about no man. I'm not worried about no relationship. I ain't worried about anything but me. And that's where y'all need to get to. And I'm not saying being a narcissist, not care about your soul tribe and helping people and loving people and giving. I'm saying about giving too much to the wrong people who don't deserve it. Once you see you're not getting nothing in return from somebody, you need to be 1 foot out the door and call them on their shit. And if they can't make an adjustment for you, That goes to show where you stand on their priority list. Then it's, see the back of my head? Watch me walk away. Either way, I'm going to let you guys go. I think I'm going to start a reading for Libra. My dad might be here to fix my my leak that I've had for months. Probably should tell him to wait till after this Mercury retrograde, but I ain't going to argue with him if he's willing to do it now. Yeah. Either way, sending good vibes. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to do a reading for Libra. Virgo, I have something special for Virgos for this month. When I had to take a step back, yeah, this was the other thing that last night when I was talking to the ex, he was like, I think you need to just work on yourself and take time. Yeah, he can't tell you about his own anger issues and triggers and stuff, but you need to just take a step back and not do your readings for a while. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's what gets me, that's what charges me up. Yeah, it can be exhausting, but that's where my healing comes in. And I'm helping people who deserve it. I'm not just going to sit in bed and, yeah, I believe through drink. I will meditate and I'll do what I need to do. I already know what triggers me, and it's certain things and fears. It's that fear thing of being abandoned. When people don't follow through with what they say they're going to do without a good explanation, with oh, well, I'm sorry, it took me 7 hours after I said I'd be there to show up. Sorry, that you don't do that at work, you ain't going to do it in a relationship. Fuck off. Anyway, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Of course, yeah, I was told that I was overreacting or whatever. No, I'm not. I have expectations and I have boundaries. And if you're going to wait, my time's precious. If you're going to waste my time, don't even bother. Right? If you're going to waste my time, I'm not up for time wasting. Oh, somebody got dominoes. I'm not up for my time being wasted. My time's too precious. It's the only thing you can't get back is time. I'm not dealing with having my time wasted by people no more who don't give a shit about me. And you only want what I can give to them. Well, there's a lot of things I wanted that I wasn't getting in that. And I just had to be understanding because they were triggers. It was all bullshit, I think. I honestly, and my gut tells me it's all bullshit. And I'm sticking to it. You know, I give people so many chances, and once those chances are up, they're up. Time's up, buttercup. You're going to start seeing my Capricorn moon really come out, I think, now. With the work and all that other stuff. So, just like me standing my ground with people. Like I said, Capricorns act like a fixed sign, and they're not just willing just to give something for nothing. And they're really noted for being hard workers, but they can be stingy as fuck, just so you're aware. I've dealt with Capricorns. Like, I was married to one. I know. I'm still getting screwed over by him financially. Oh, he would say I'm the one who screwed him over, but that's a complete freaking lie because I'm the one that's in the financial mess and he's not. He's the one who's able to fix his vehicles, and I have a car sitting outside I can't get fixed because I can't afford to. I can't move. It needs towed to get fixed. And it needs towed to a specific, it can't just get towed to any garage because of the type of car it is. So it needs towed to the Mazda dealership, which is like 35 miles up the road, which is going to cost me quite a bit of money. And I got a ticket last week because it was sitting out here, and I asked the ex-boyfriend to help move my car, and he never made it a priority to do so. So then I got now I have a $200 ticket sitting down there, and I'm probably gonna have to go to court for it because I wasn't around when I got it. I didn't mean for it to be sitting there freaking not inspected. I couldn't physically move it myself. I don't know what they wanted me to do. They'll get $1 a month for me to pay that ticket. Either way, I'll let y'all go. Enough about my bullshit and Uranus. And yeah, that was like the last big FU. And then, this happened today, but I'm trying to get my financial stuff in gear, in order, and start working better on my time management. So that's the biggest thing for me, is time management. My daughter called my ass out on it last week. Mom, you're terrible at time management. Olivia, I know. You're right. I suck at time management. Most Aries do. We're too busy planting seeds and moving on to the next damn thing. So, either way, I'm going to let y'all go. I want to get on and do Aries reading. So, an Aries reading. I'm not doing Aries first this time. Sorry. I got to do Libra. And then I'm going to skip over Virgo because I'm doing them last because I have something very special for them. And I'm not doing Leo and I'm not doing Aries until last. So it'll be Aries and Leo and then Virgo's last, but I'm going to do Libra and then I'm going to skip over to do Cancer and Gemini. I'm probably not going to get all of them done today, but I'm at least going to get Libra and maybe Cancer's done. So then they'll be done. I really want to do Gemini. So maybe I'll do Libra and Gemini. And then I'll do Cancer. And then I'll do... We'll see. We'll see what Spirit says. Actually, maybe I'll even pull it out. I have a Zodiac deck. Maybe I'll just pull them that way. I know Virgo's going last, though. One of the words was the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Either way, I'm going to go. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to get on and do a reading for Libra. And I got some cards to clean. And I'm going to pick up a little bit here. And I got to get my stuff done. I got to make some phone calls. So look for me in about 20 minutes to get on and do Libra's reading. Okay? I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.